In the deadliest winter ever recorded, the Amazon frozen survival became legend. A silence fell over the jungle, a cold so deep it turned rivers to glass and blanketed the vibrant canopy in a shroud of white. For the people who called this forest home, it was a time of unprecedented hardship, a fight against an enemy they had never known, an unrelenting, bitter cold that stole the very life from the land. In the heart of this frozen expanse, a village teetered on the brink of starvation. Hope was a flicker in the encroaching darkness. It was then that 3 hunters set out not for glory, not for conquest, but to feed their starving families. They moved like ghosts through the knee-deep snow, their breath misting in the frigid air, their resolve hardened by the desperate faces they left behind. Every step was a prayer, every glance a search for a sign of life in a world that seemed to have died. Then they found them. Tracks in the snow, impossibly large, leading deeper into the skeletal trees. These were not the prints of a jaguar or a tapir. The sheer size and depth spoke of something else entirely, something ancient and powerful. The tracks they found belonged to a giant. A sense of awe and fear mingled in the cold air as they followed the trail, their hearts pounding in unison with the silent rhythm of the hunt. They were tracking a creature of myth, a ghost from a colder, older world. And then they saw it. Standing majestically beside an icy river, its form silhouetted against the weak, misty sunlight breaking through the fog. It was a colossal moose, a mountain of muscle and fur, its antlers like the gnarled branches of an ancient tree. 1,800 pounds of raw power and primal survival instinct. Perhaps the last of its kind to wander these transformed lands. It was a vision both terrifying and beautiful, a remnant of a bygone era, now the sole key to their village's future. The hunters dropped to their knees, taking cover behind a row of fallen snow-covered logs. They whispered in hushed tones, their words swallowed by the vast, silent forest. Every rustle of their fur clothing, every shift of weight, felt like a thunderclap. The great beast was less than 100 yards away, its massive head occasionally lifting to test the wind. They knew that one wrong sound, one careless movement, and the hunt would instantly become a battle one they might not survive. The lead hunter drew his bow, the sinew creaking softly in protest against the cold. He took a deep, steadying breath, his focus narrowing to a single point on the beast's powerful flank. He released the string. The arrow flew true, a dark streak against the white landscape. It struck home with a solid thud. The moose let out a deafening roar of pain and fury, its massive head snapping up. Nature answers fear with fury. In an instant, the tranquil scene erupted into chaos as the enraged animal charged. The jungle became an arena of thunder and ice. The colossal moose crashed through the frozen undergrowth, splintering trees as if they were twigs. The hunters scrambled, their initial plan shattered. Now, it was a chase of desperate pursuit across the treacherous, frozen ground. They ran, their lungs burning in the glacial air, keeping the wounded giant in their sights. It was a frantic dance of predator and prey, where the roles could reverse at any moment. The earth itself seemed to tremble with each of the beast's furious strides. Driven by pain and instinct, the moose veered toward the open expanse of the frozen river. The hunters saw their chance. The weight of the giant, which had been its greatest strength, was now its greatest vulnerability. As the moose thundered onto the ice, a web of cracks instantly appeared beneath its hooves. The frozen river there, final chance. The beast slowed, its panic palpable as the groaning ice threatened to give way. It was trapped, caught between the hunters and the cold, dark water below. There was no time to think, only to act. The lead hunter, fueled by adrenaline and desperation, broke from cover. He ran towards the floundering beast, his spear held high. In a single, fluid motion born of a lifetime of training, he leaped forward, launching the spear just as the ice began to break apart. One throw, one breath, one life. The spear found its mark, a final, decisive strike that ended the struggle in a heartbeat. And then, silence. A profound stillness settled over the scene, broken only by the gentle hiss of falling snow. Steam rose from the body of the fallen moose, like a departing spirit, mingling with the cold air. The hunters stood, chests heaving, watching the life fade from the magnificent creature. And in that silence, victory felt like mercy. They had taken a life, but in doing so, they had saved many. The weight of their actions settled upon them, a heavy but necessary burden. They approached the fallen giant with reverence. Using ropes and their own hands, they measured its incredible size. 1,800 pounds. It was almost impossible to comprehend. Enough meat to feed everyone in their village through the worst of the winter. Enough to turn despair into celebration. It was a gift from the frozen forest. A brutal, beautiful gift that taught them the true meaning of humility in the face of nature's power. The journey home was the true test. They fashioned makeshift sleds and began the arduous task of dragging the immense carcass through the deepening snow. A blizzard descended, whipping their faces and obscuring their path. Every step was a battle against the elements, a testament to their endurance, an unwavering commitment to their people. The wind howled, but their resolve did not break. They were bringing life back to their village. As they finally crested the last ridge, a cry went up from the village lookout. Figures emerged from the huts, their faces illuminated by the warm glow of firelight. Hunger turned to hope and the frozen night to warmth. The villagers rushed out to greet them, their cheers echoing through the snowy landscape. The hunters, weary but triumphant, had returned not just with food, but with a renewed spirit for their people. That night, the village ate like kings of the cold. A huge bonfire blazed in the center of the clearing, casting a vibrant, orange glow on the falling snow. The sound of laughter and joyful chatter replaced the grim silence that had plagued them for weeks. The aroma of roasting meat filled the air, a scent of life and abundance. It was a feast that nourished not only their bodies but their souls, chasing away the cold and the fear. As the celebration continued, the village elder stepped forward. He raised his weathered hands to the sky, his face etched with gratitude in the flickering firelight. Gabe, thanks no for the violence of the hunt, but for the mercy of life. He thanked the spirit of the great moose for its sacrifice and the forest for providing for its children in their time of greatest need. It was a moment of profound connection between the people and the world around them. Gathered close to the warmth of the fire, the children listened, their eyes wide with wonder, as the hunters recounted their incredible story. They spoke of the giant's tracks, the tense standoff, and the thunderous chase across the ice. The flickering shadows on the walls of the huts seemed to dance along with their tale, bringing the epic battle to life. Stories become the fire that never fades, passed down from one generation to the next, keeping the memory and its lessons alive. In the days that followed, they carefully cleaned and carved the magnificent antlers. With great ceremony, they mounted them at the village gate, a powerful symbol against the backdrop of the golden dawn. The antlers became a monument, a constant reminder of the courage, survival, and unity that had seen them through the darkest of times. They stood as a testament to what they could achieve when they stood together. The legend of the 1,800-pound moose had an immediate effect. Inspired by the hunter's bravery, the village's young men and women began to train with renewed purpose. In the crisp morning air, they practiced their spear throws in the snow, their movements sharp and focused under the glowing sky. Legends inspired in the fire of courage spreads from one heart to another, ensuring the survival of their culture and their people. As the days turned into weeks, a change began to occur. The sun rose higher, its rays carrying a new warmth. Slowly, painstakingly, the jungle began to live again. The drone of insects returned. The rivers started to flow, and green shoots pushed their way through the melting snow. The forest was thawing, reborn from its icy slumber. It lived again because its people had refused to die. From high above, the village is a beacon of warmth and life in the vast, recovering landscape. Smoke from the central fire rises to meet the morning sky, a steady pulse of a community that endured. The 1,800-pound moose fed more than mouse, it fed faith. It reminded them that even in the harshest winter, the heart of the jungle and the spirit of its people will always find a way to survive. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. If you are moved by this story of survival and courage, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tales from the wild heart of our world. We'll see you next time.